Good afternoon, Sales Academy followers, listeners, YouTubers, podcasters, action takers, doers, lurkers, listeners, followers, whoever you are, thank you. Today's subject is more related to the sales side than anything else, but it comes up in lots of conversations. So it's kind of handling objections and overcoming objections. So this is amusing. I've done a podcast previously on overcoming objections, but I kind of just wanted to revisit this subject as it's come up quite a lot in conversations recently. And I think with experience, a lot of people ask about overcoming objections from a point of view of a tip, a trick, or a gimmick that you can do that will win, you'll win, they'll lose, and all that sort of stuff. And I'm like, it's not what it's about. That feeling at the end of that is shit. That's not what it's about. What it's about is, why is the person objecting? What is it that they're objecting to? And actually, what is an objection? If they're objecting, are they actually saying there and then, I'm absolutely not interested, I don't want to know, bugger off? Understand this. Understand this. If they are objecting, they're moving forward. They say in the old school kind of sales training, which is very valid, that an objection is a buying signal, right? But let's kind of break that down a little bit more. Is put yourself in the scenario. You wouldn't have a salesperson sat in front of you if you didn't have a challenge or a need for a product or a service that they have, right? So you've invited them in, you're having the conversation with them, you're hoping that these are going to be the people that have the products and service that can help you and serve you, but you need to qualify and question to understand that. So you're just going through a natural process of questioning, and they should also be going through a natural process of questioning, not just answering, right? But objections happen because we don't deal with the elephants in the room. So from a buyer point of view or from a seller's point of view, either you're not getting honest about what your fears are as the buyer, you're not literally putting down on the table, look, these are my concerns and my issues. I've bought this something like this in the past and it didn't work out, or I'm judging you based on your, you wouldn't say that, would you, right? But that's reality. You're judging the salesperson in front of you based on your experiences of salespeople in the past, and you're expecting this person to be the same as that, and you're a little bit dubious because sometimes it hasn't worked out in the past, whatever it might be. But as a buyer, you're not getting truly honest. You're not sharing all of your kind of concerns and issues or airing them. And if you did, and the salesperson sat in front of you is ethical and cares enough about you buying the right product or service, they're going to dig in with you, right? They're not just going to go, oh, yeah, well, if you do, they're not going to try and sell features, advantages, benefits like it's the 1980s and they've got a double-breasted suit that does up, and overlaps. It looks like they're wearing their dad's. Fundamentally, good quality salespeople are good human beings. They have a product and a service and a passion, and they have the desire and energy to get out there and make things happen that drive businesses forward. And you would want those people in your business. So be accepting and understanding of those people when they come to you from their businesses. But what are the objections that you have as a buyer? What are the challenges or concerns or risks you have as a buyer in any given situation? How honest, how real are you being with yourself, let alone the person in the room? And then as a salesperson, how are you asking those questions to uncover some of those challenges? And, let's not hide away from it. Every product and service has flaws. Nothing's perfect, right? So if you hide away hoping that the buyer never finds out about those flaws, you're effectively creating the objection down the road. And worse than that, you're creating the objection that comes up further down the road, the banana skin that comes up further down the road. And at that point, you're not in the room with them. You're not able to support them through it. You're not able to question and challenge and engage with them because you're 100 miles away. It's 6 months later. You're not in their thought process. But in the meeting, in the process of conversations, in the series of engagements that you're having, if you are bold enough to turn around and say, listen, just before we go any further, can I just share with you some of the challenges that some customers have had in the past and what we did to overcome them and how things have improved and stuff, because you may hear some things out there in the marketplace. Now, if I give you a classic example, the mobile phone industry in the early days was pants. One of the things that is still pants is the signal coverage. All right. And when I say this, I hope people from the telecoms industry come and try and correct me, because everybody knows when you see these maps of 98% population and all that sort of stuff, we got coverage, blah, blah, it's always where population is. But if you have a house in the middle of sticks where there isn't population, you aren't going to get coverage because it isn't worth the investment to put communications there. It never has been and never will be. And even as communication improves and expands, you are still going to have peaks and troughs and dips where you just can't get the coverage to. That's the nature of signals and radio signals and communications and comms. And so you can have the latest, greatest device with the best 5G enabled SIM card on the fastest 5G network. And if you're in the center of London or the center of cities, brilliant. If you're out in the sticks, it's not going to be the same experience. Everybody knows that, but not everybody talks about that when you have a conversation with them about where they are. And I remember years ago, like people would go, oh yeah, but let's get them all onto one contract under one client. So they've got a one bill. And I'm like, but you've got a director who lives in Monmouthshire and the only phone network that works there is T-Mobile for him, but everywhere else is better O2 because they're traveling around the country and the voice might actually it's better on O2. So let's have T-Mobile for him and O2 for them because every package comes with cross-network bundled minutes. So why would we not utilize that? Why would we not provide a solution that actually fits rather than trying to get all of them into something that shoehorning them into something that doesn't fit? Do you see what I mean? So this sales is not selling something somebody doesn't want. It's about helping people professionally buy something they do want and need now, faster, better, smoother, without remorse. So tackling the elephants in the room, having some of those conversations about what could be potential banana skins, rather than shying away from them, whether you're the buyer or the seller, have these conversations, get metaphorically butt naked, build that trust and understanding that you can help and support them, whether they choose to do business with you, whether your product or service is right for them or not. Both of you figure that out together. That's how you overcome objections, but stop avoiding them. That's the number one tactic to avoid to overcoming objections is to stop avoiding them. Now, if you get into a situation where there is an objection and you don't know how to handle that objection because you haven't covered the banana skin in the past, be a good human being. Ask questions. What are their concerns with that? Okay, if that was to happen, how would that affect you? What would the impact be on your business? What would the impact be on you personally? Okay, cool. So what reassurances do you need from it? What do you need to see, hear, and feel from us to demonstrate that we can support you with? What can you do as a good human being to serve them better, support them better, and show them you care? That's what matters. Because I can get mobile phones from anyone, but why you? I can get a website from anyone, but why you? Right? I can get recruitment from anyone, but why you? Talk about the banana skins, stop avoiding it. Best way to overcome objections. That's it. Peace out. Love you all. See you later.